Hello and welcome back to my channel for another pick a card reading. Today's reading is going to be about what Spirit wants you to know for this upcoming new moon in Aquarius. Now, this new moon in Aquarius is a wonderful time to set new intentions. It may be a beautiful time to follow your own sense of individuality and allow yourself to be drawn towards your own unique visionary quest in this lifetime. So without further ado, let's get into the reading, and feel free to pause the video if you need to, but just take a moment to meditate with these cards for a moment and let your intuition guide you as you feel into which card or cards you feel most drawn towards. So I'll give you a moment here to sit with these cards and just let the energy guide you as you decide which one or ones you feel most drawn towards. Hello, group number 1, and welcome to your reading about what Spirit wants you to know for this upcoming new moon in Aquarius. So I'll begin by revealing the card that you chose. This card is going to represent the overall underlying energetic theme of the reading. So let's go ahead and reveal this card. So we have the Four of Swords. So what this really tells me is that for this upcoming new moon, this may be a very beneficial time for you to really focus on your ability to really take a step back and to rest and relax. This may be a good opportunity for you to really focus on some deep meditation. This could even be a sign that if you have the option to during this new moon in Aquarius, this may actually be a good time for you to really take a step back from your life and perhaps finding a type of meditation that really helps you dive deeper within your own sense of inner self. And this may possibly be a opportunity for you to journey on a shamanic voyage, or this could also be a time for you to just take some time off work, take some time away from the grind of everyday life. And I'm really seeing this as a sign that during this upcoming new moon, it's going to be very beneficial for you just to take a step back from your normal busyness of day-to-day life. So just taking a moment of pause and surrender to really feel into what is coming up for you during this time, and really allowing yourself to open up and not feeling so rushed or urgent with the things that may be on your to-do list. I think this is ultimately asking you to have patience and allowing yourself to not necessarily feel so pressured by the external obligations that you may have. But you know, everyone has those things that are on their to-do list that they can't necessarily neglect. But in whatever way that you can, I think this is just asking you to take that time for yourself, to take that time of pause, rest, and meditation, because something's telling me that you really may need this, that this is probably a sign that you've been running on empty for quite some time now. And I think Spirit is just telling you that you deserve to rest, that if you're doubting that, if you feel like you haven't done enough, like you always have to tick these things off your to-do list and like you have to earn that right to rest, Spirit is really telling me that during this time, it's going to be absolutely essential that you allow yourself to take that time every now and then, because if you allow yourself to do so, then you're only going to be strengthening that sense of self within your being. And this is ultimately going to be giving you that rest and rejuvenation so you can step back into your daily life with even more energy and even more passion than you had before, because we can't always be living in that doing and that masculine energy all the time. And I'm not saying that we should always be resting, or um, we should always be in the feminine energies all the time. But I guess what I'm trying to say here is Spirit really wants you to take this moment for yourself to really realign and reconnect with that sense of inner being and inner mothering, inner nurturing that just wants to take a moment for yourself and to really tune back in deeply to what your soul wants, what your soul needs, and also possibly what your body needs too, because our bodies literally need rest. We need to sleep for pretty much half the day if we're really allowing ourselves to tune in with our inner sense of being, and just allowing ourselves to not feel guilty for resting, to not feel guilty for taking that time away and taking that time that may not necessarily look productive to the outside world, but in some ways that rest is probably one of the most productive things that we can do, because we're balancing those masculine and feminine energies. We're allowing ourselves to mother and nurture ourselves, while also by giving ourselves that rest and that rejuvenation, we're ultimately strengthening those masculine energies as well to help us go out into the world and to passionately follow those visionary dreams that we have, to carry ourselves forward from a replenished and grounded place, not feeling like we always have to perform, like we always have to put on this mask for our day-to-day lives and for those external obligations that we may have. But everyone's situation is going to be different and unique. But if you have that time, that space, that luxury to take a day off, to take a week off, take a month off if you need to, if you have those financial resources and that space in your life to do so, but ultimately just to do the best that you can to take care of yourself and those needs that you may have, to nurture your body, mind, and soul, so you can return to those obligations and the everyday hustle and bustle of life from a grounded and rejuvenated place, because Spirit is really telling me that you most likely desperately need this, and maybe you've been denying yourself that for too long. So and like I said, this could also be a time of meditation, of venturing deep within yourself to find some answers to some questions that you may have. And sometimes I think that we can't necessarily tune into those higher states of consciousness without taking that time and space away from our normal day-to-day lives. So I'll go ahead and pull a few more tarot cards here as well to get a little bit more information about what is currently arising for you within this new moon in Aquarius. So I'm going to go ahead, shuffle these a little bit, get a few more cards here. So Spirit, what does group 1 need to know about this upcoming new moon in Aquarius? So I had a few more cards come out here. So let's see what we have. Okay, so we have the Empress. We also have the King of Cups. And we also have the Three of Cups. So this is very interesting. I'm going to go ahead and talk about these a little bit, but this is some very beautiful energy, I think. Just want to make sure that you can see these. Okay. So we have the Empress here, which really tells me that, kind of like I was saying about tuning into that own inner nurturing mother within yourself. This is literally nurturing that mind, body, and soul, and really allowing yourself that rest and allowing yourself the more luxurious aspects of life as well. This is really allowing yourself to feel abundant, to feel luxurious, to really pamper yourself and focus on your sense of self-care, your sense of self-worth and self-confidence. And really taking that time to feel like you deserve the best that life has to offer, because you really do. And not everything has to be about that hustle and that grind. This is really taking that time to allow yourself to feel that goddess energy, that divine feminine energy within yourself, and to know that you really do deserve to treat yourself well, and that you really do deserve the best that life has to offer, to pamper and nourish yourself, and to focus on self-care. And I think that during this time of retreat and of surrender, of meditation, that this is ultimately telling me that focusing on some kind, nurturing self-care would be extremely important for you. And this also, like I was saying, this also kind of represents that mothering energy as well. So this could be a good time to maybe call up your mom if you feel called to connect with your mother, or if you are a mother, to connect more deeply with your children, or some kind of feminine presence in your life who really helps uplift you and support you, who really helps you feel loved and nourished in many different ways. So I think that this energy is a very beautiful archetype, and something to really focus on embodying and connecting with at a deeper level. But treating yourself with kindness, knowing that you deserve the best that life has to offer, and really allowing yourself to not feel guilty about spoiling yourself a little bit every now and then, because I think that maybe you've been feeling really run down, very depleted, very drained in a lot of ways. So taking this time to really focus on resting and rejuvenating, and going inward, meeting yourself at a deeper level, while also connecting to that divine feminine energy within yourself, mothering and nurturing yourself, and allowing yourself to connect at a deeper level with that sense of abundance and that sense of self-worth and self-confidence. So that might be something to consider. And like I said, that could also manifest on a more external level as well, like connecting to a feminine energy in your life who uplifts you and supports you, and who really helps you connect with those energies on in an even deeper way, if that makes any sense. So I think that's something very, very beautiful to connect with during this new moon in Aquarius. Now we also have this King of Cups here, which tells me that as you're going through this time of withdrawing and connecting to yourself at a deeper level, and really learning to, maybe not necessarily learning to, but rekindling that connection with that divine feminine presence within yourself, and treating yourself with more kindness and respect, I think this is also a very beneficial time for you to focus on emotional resilience. Focus on really being the master of your own emotions in a lot of ways, of having that steady foundation whenever life seems to be a bit overwhelming or challenging, to have that stability and that flexibility within yourself, to really know that you can handle whatever comes to you, and not succumbing to those lower vibe feelings of fear and of lack, and not having the confidence in yourself to be able to handle the situation. But this is that emotional groundedness and that emotional security, finding that calm within the storm, being able to center yourself and to walk yourself and talk yourself through those challenging experiences and challenging times. This really tells me that while you have those beautiful feminine energies that you can withdraw within, this is also holding that divine masculine space for yourself as well, and allowing yourself to really feel held and protected and really secure and grounded within your own ability to navigate rough waters, and knowing that you can remain grounded and centered within, kind of staying calm and grounded within the eye of the storm, if that makes any sense. But knowing that you are held, you are protected, and you are safe, and that spirit is really wanting to kind of create this container of nourishment for you in a lot of ways. Having both the divine feminine and divine masculine here is a very beautiful, it's a very beautiful dynamic. And I think this is ultimately creating that sense of safety and that sense of protection here for you, so you can venture more deeply within yourself, and you can feel like you have that solid foundation, so you can venture more deeply within yourself, and you know that you can handle life, and that even if you're not necessarily doing something that looks productive to the outside world, this ultimately is something that is going to help tune you more deeply into those emotional states, and to help you have a greater mastery over how you handle your life, how you handle challenging situations, and in really having that emotional maturity. And this could possibly even indicate that you are also eventually or currently going to be stepping into some kind of leadership role that helps you maybe assist others in navigating difficult emotional circumstances as well. Maybe some kind of therapist role or counselor, or just a loving and supportive guide for others that may be navigating a difficult time in their life. Just holding that space and that solid foundation, and that container for others to open up and explore their own life circumstances, and to maybe heal trauma or heal from something that's been very painful. I think that this is ultimately possibly indicating that you have that secure and that mature divine masculine energy within you that may help assist others as well within some kind of way. So I hope that makes sense, but I'm really just feeling like this is helping you connect with that sense of emotional maturity and embodying a greater sense of strength when it comes to navigating difficult times and navigating your emotions from a more centered place. Now, we also have the Three of Cups here, which tells me that you may be connecting with others in a way to celebrate accomplishments, and to maybe come together with others to celebrate some kind of it could be an achievement, but this could also be like I feel like this could be like a baby shower or a wedding, or some kind of get together that may likely involve other feminine energies. Or this could not really be anyone. This could be like a family gathering or a group of friends meeting up to really connect with each other and to touch base, perhaps after a period of being disconnected for a while. But I'm kind of seeing this as you go deeply within yourself to meditate, to reflect, and to heal yourself maybe on an even deeper level, and as you connect to a greater sense of self-worth and luxury and abundance, and you find yourself able to mother yourself in an even more powerful and deep way, and you also connect with those feelings of emotional maturity, of responsibility, and I guess taking responsibility for your own emotions, and how you how you embody them and how you express them. This is ultimately going to help you within your relationships. And I think this may be a moment to come together with other like-minded individuals and to celebrate those accomplishments that you've made, and to really show off the hard work that you've done on yourself, and how these new insights and how these moments of greater clarity and greater healing have really helped you transform into a completely different energetic embodiment within the world. And I think people are going to notice this and feel it in your presence and in your energy field. And I think it's really going to make a huge difference in your connections. And this is really going to be something to celebrate. And I even kind of see this imagery here of these cups. They're overflowing with that energy of that love, of that abundance and beauty. And I think it's going to be something that you can really celebrate with others and have a lot of gratitude and appreciation for, and to also celebrate others' accomplishments, and to really just bask in the beauty and the radiance of life, to celebrate yourself, to celebrate others, and to not compare each other either, to really realize that you're on your own journeys and just kind of figuring things out in your own way the best that you can, and that you have something powerful and something very special to share. And I think that by doing this inner work and connecting on an even deeper level to your own sense of power, your own sense of inner security, inner maturity, and just growing more wise, and just finding an even deeper level of self-trust, I think is going to be extremely helpful for your relationships and how you connect with others in the world. And just treating yourself with kindness, with respect, and knowing that you do deserve the best that life has to offer. So I'm going to go ahead and get some oracle cards here. I'll go ahead and start with our Moonology oracle deck. So we're just going to see what else Spirit wants you to know about this upcoming new moon in Aquarius. Okay, I just want to make sure that you can see these cards here too. So the first one that we have is the new moon in Libra. Know you are loved. And then we also have the new moon in Taurus. Know your worth. So I think this is very interesting. And I also think that it's kind of interesting how we got two new moons here. And we have a new moon in an air sign, which is what the new moon in Aquarius is. We also have a new moon in an earth sign. So I'll begin with discussing this new moon in Libra. And the message here is to know that you are loved. So the new moons are a beautiful time to set new intentions. It's a wonderful time to plant those energetic seeds and to really allow those intentions to come into manifestation, to really nurture and water and allow these energetic intentions to grow, and to really take care of them, to be patient, and to allow things to progress and grow naturally at their own pace, and to really work with that cycle in a deeply intertwined and deeply connected kind of way. So the sign of Libra is all about our relationships, about how we connect with others and how we interact with others on a day-to-day basis in our world. About this is kind of connected to that community archetype, and as well as Aquarius as well, but this is really related to how we connect with others, how we speak to others, and how we balance our own energy with an even greater energy of of community, of family, of those around us who we are close to, and maybe who we are not necessarily close to, but just how we connect with others, and how we allow our energy to be expressed outside of ourselves in a relationship dynamic, in a community dynamic. So the message here is to know that you were loved. And I think this is kind of connected to this Three of Cups energy as well, and the Empress energy. I think this is really just confirming that in order to show up fully, in order to have those moments of celebration, of coming together with loved ones, with a community, this is ultimately going to require you to go within yourself from time to time, and to take that time to really heal, to really take that time and space away from those external obligations, and so you can show up to those relationships and those connections with a full cup, not pouring from an empty cup by just doing something that you feel obligated to or pressured to. But after you take that time and that space away, this is just really telling me that you are deeply loved and held by Spirit, and Spirit wants you to treat yourself with kindness, to pamper yourself, to focus on your self-care, to focus on your healing, because you're not going to be able to really show up fully and to really connect with others if you're not loving yourself. And I think that, I guess you could, hypothetically you could still be able to show love to others if you're not necessarily showing love to yourself, but it's going to be different for everyone. And they always say that love has to always start within first, some people say that you can't love others unless you love yourself, but I do kind of personally disagree with that. But I do think that's true for a lot of people in certain circumstances, that, well, I think that you still can love other people if you don't necessarily show the most love to yourself, but you're going to be able to show up even better, and you're going to be able to have so much more love for others if you do love yourself. But this is kind of telling me that you ultimately need to start within first, to work from the inside out, and to focus on taking care of yourself, of showing yourself that love, so you ultimately can feel more secure in yourself, and so you can show up to be able to support others as well. Like I was saying, working from the inside out, to treat yourself with kindness and treat yourself with respect. Now, we also have a new moon in Taurus here, and like I was saying, the new moons are a beautiful time to set those new intentions, and to really water, to nurture those metaphorical seeds, metaphorical or literal. But the sign of Taurus is all about connecting with the earth. I think it's very similar to that Empress energy. And the Empress, it represents the planet of Venus within the tarot major arcana. But I think that Taurus energy is very much connected to that Venus energy as well. And this is connecting to the earth, connecting to that greater sense of abundance, and knowing that we do deserve the luxuries in life, and knowing that we do deserve the best that life has to offer, to know our worth, to know that we do deserve it, and that ultimately we can grow it, we can cultivate it. And even if it's not necessarily going to happen overnight, by taking the time to really slow down and to do the work that needs to be done, this is ultimately helping set ourselves up for success in the future, and having that ability to celebrate how far we've come by putting in the work when we have that time to do a little bit extra to nourish ourselves in an even deeper way, to know that we deserve it, and to know that it's not going to happen overnight either, and that there still is work to do, but not to necessarily be so worried about it, if that makes any sense. While you're, while you're resting, while you're meditating, while you're recharging, I don't think it's going to really be beneficial for you to worry about all these things on your to-do list, all these things that you have on your plate. But knowing that you will get it done slowly but surely, one step at a time, taking those grounded, practical steps in order to manifest the life that you want, and knowing that you do deserve it. And it's just going to take time, patience, and persistence. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull some more oracle cards from one of my new decks that I just got recently. It's called the Woodland Wardens. It's a really cute deck, but I'll go ahead and pull some of these cards. My mom actually got this deck for me not too long ago, and this is my first time using it for these readings. So I'll go ahead and get some of these here. I'm just going to pull one of these cards today. Okay, so we have the Horse and Bluebell, Modest Fortitude. This is very interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and read the description from the book here. I'm still getting to know this deck a little bit, and I think the descriptions here are absolutely beautiful. So give me just... Okay, so the Horse and Bluebell, Modest Fortitude. Its downcast blooms cause the bluebell to bow gently at its stem, symbolizing modesty. In contrast, the horse is a striking creature, proud and muscular, able to bear great loads and travel long distances. It is known for its superior strength and stamina. Taken together, the horse and bluebell remind us that the greatest the greatest successes are the result of much humble practice. And it says, work quietly and consistently. The time to shine will present itself in the future. For now, focus on your process rather than its reward. And it asks you these two questions. Am I too focused on earning praise and not focused enough on the substance of my work? And when is it worthwhile to push through adversity, and when is it better to rest? So I think this is extremely interesting, and that kind of goes back to what I was saying about that whole idea of coming back to yourself, coming back to center, and allowing yourself to rest, but to really find that balance of going inward and exerting your energy out into the world. And I also just wanted to say that the animal of the horse and the flower, the bluebell flower, they may have some kind of spiritual significance to you in some kind of way. They might be your lucky symbol, if that resonates with you or if that connects with you. But I think this is just, like it was saying, this is really asking you to just take things day at a time, and to know that you're not going to show up perfectly every day, and to not expect instant gratification or immediate results. But by knowing your worth and knowing that you do deserve the best that life has to offer, that ultimately should help strengthen your sense of confidence in that you're not just wasting your time, and that this is ultimately going to be working out in your best interest. And ultimately, you are going to be able to celebrate those accomplishments, and you ultimately are going to be able to reclaim that greater sense of calmness and serenity within yourself, even if there may be rough times in the future for you. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be like that soon, but there's always going to be adversity, and there's always going to be challenge in life. And I think this is reconnecting to that sense of knowing that you can handle it. And by by remaining persistent and taking those grounded practical steps one day at a time, just doing the best you can and showing up, knowing that it's definitely not always going to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect, but that you have what it takes to ultimately have great success and great fulfillment with whatever you're doing. And knowing that you do have support, that there are others out there who may be close to you that want to help uplift you and help you connect with that greater level of confidence as well. To know that you're loved and to know that you're beginning a beautiful new journey and you are headed in the right direction. This is very beautiful energy here, and I really sense that you may be a very sensitive person who finds yourself being maybe overwhelmed by the obligations of life and feeling like there's just so many energies always coming at you at once, and that, like I was saying, that you may be a very sensitive person and maybe you struggle with your sense of self-worth, your sense of self-confidence, but I'm just here to tell you that you do have what it takes, that you are headed in the right direction. But I think this reading is really telling me that this is time to focus on yourself and to slow down and to take a step back, because ultimately that's going to help propel you forward with even greater momentum and to help you find that sense of inner strength and confidence again. Okay, so I'm going to finish this reading off with some more oracle cards from the Work Your Light oracle deck as well, and we'll see how many cards want to come out today. Sometimes less is more with these, so we'll just see what happens. I'm really just feeling drawn to draw one card from this deck. So let's see, we have this card. You're already doing it. Stop overthinking, keep facing your true north. Okay. Just want to make sure you can see this card. And for this deck, I really like to read the descriptions because I think they really help explain and reveal this energy in a much more clear and concise way. They really help explain things in a lot more detail. So I'm going to go ahead and read this description here. So just 1 second. Okay. You're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. Do not question things so much. You are on the right track. You are facing the right way. Stop overthinking it. It's happening. And you are closer than you think. You are exactly where you need to be, and things are moving at the perfect speed. Do not rush it. Now is not the time to be impatient. Now is the time to walk steady. There is no rush. What you are building is being built. What you have planted soon will blossom. With every new day, a new brick is being laid. You have come a long way. The foundations are steady. Now all that is needed is for you to trust and keep walking forward. If a thought that things should be moving faster enters your head, that is just your ego comparing your rising to someone else. Comparison is not your friend. Stay in your own lane, water your own garden, knowing that your time to bloom will come soon. You are already doing it. Keep going. So I think this is an extremely beautiful message here. And I think this kind of relates back to this Horse and Bluebill card as well, that more modest fortitude. Just having that patience and that inner knowing that you are figuring things out, that even if you have to take things slowly for a while, that's completely okay, that you are headed in the right direction, and it's going to look different every day. You're not going to be able to necessarily show up with as much clarity and focus, and you're not necessarily always going to have that same that same spark every day, and that's okay. Sometimes all you can do is just show up the best that you can, and in a lot of ways, just by showing up, that's already half the battle, and you already are doing it. So really, I think this is a good time to really stop allowing yourself to circle in those downward spirals within your mind, and to stop overthinking it, and to know that you are doing the best that you can, and it's not perfect, and that's okay. It's going to take time to really grow and to really develop things over a long period of time. So to just have that patience, to have that fortitude, that tenacity and that perseverance, but to also allow that pause and surrender, to allow yourself to venture within and to really meditate on some of the deeper questions in your life. And I think that for this new moon in Aquarius, this is a really good time to focus on yourself before feeling like, I feel like this is asking you to focus on yourself and to turn inwards and to give yourself that time and space and that rest and meditation, so you can show up more fully in your life and in your relationships, in your passions, and to know that by taking those practical grounded steps, by staying emotionally centered and grounded, um, and also this is also going to help you become an even greater authority over your own life, and really feeling deserving and really feeling connected to that deep internal abundance, and to know that abundance will also manifest externally as long as you're in alignment with that higher path, and when you're aligned with that feeling of worth, that's only going to show up for you in an even greater way, and it's going to build on itself, but it's going to take time to water that seed. It's not going to bloom overnight. So this is really telling me that you also have to have patience and to have trust that you are headed in the right direction, and all you can do is show up every day and do the best that you can. And I think you really are already doing that, and Spirit knows it, Spirit sees it, and you are ultimately going to be rewarded for this work. And in a lot of ways, taking that time to rest and to treat yourself kindly is some of the most important work that you can really do. So group number one, I'm going to end your reading here, and I just wanted to thank you so much for being here. It's been an absolute privilege to bring you this reading, and if this reading resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel. I would really appreciate it. And also, if this reading did touch you, if it did resonate with you deeply, also please consider maybe leaving a tip, and I'll leave that information within the description as well. But I just also wanted to say that it's something that's never expected, but it's always very much appreciated. So thank you so much again, and I'm sending you so much light, so much love, and so many blessings upon your journey. Thank you so much. Hello, Group 2, and welcome to your reading about what Spirit wants you to know for this upcoming new moon in Aquarius. So I'm going to go ahead and reveal the card that you chose here. This card is going to represent the overall underlying energetic theme of the reading. And this card could also possibly indicate what may be something to keep in mind when setting your intention for this new moon in Aquarius. Perhaps about something that may be very important to take forward with you as you nurture and you water those seeds, and let your intuition guide you as you put forth these new intentions out into the universe. So let's see what we have here. So we have the Two of Swords. So what this really tells me is that you may currently be facing a very difficult decision in your life. You may feel like you are possibly at a crossroads, like it may be difficult for you to proceed forward with confidence in knowing that you've made the right decision from a grounded and in logical place, and also in a way that helps your heart feel protected and nourished in a way also. It may feel like it may feel like you don't know where to turn next, and you may also possibly feel blinded in a way with making this decision. Like you might not have all the information that you need to know. But what this really tells me also is that during this time, during this new moon, this may be a very good opportunity for you to really turn within, to really connect with your intuition and let that guide you, and let your heart guide you as you really connect with what you truly want, what truly feels right, and what truly feels aligned with spirit and that higher path within yourself. This really tells me that you ultimately will know the right choice to make, and you ultimately will know what direction to to proceed with, and to not let your lack of confidence or your lack of certainty steer you away from what you know is best and what you know is in true alignment with you. But I think the best way to make a difficult decision oftentimes is to really deeply connect with that intuition, that sense of trust with spirit, and that trust within yourself as well. So I think I think what may be a good intention to set out into the universe around this time of the new moon in Aquarius is just focusing on focusing on yourself and focusing on tuning back into that intuition, that sense of self-trust, and that trust within the universe as well, that you are divinely guided and that you ultimately will make the right decision. So just knowing that you can trust yourself more than anything. So we'll go ahead and we'll get a few more tarot cards here to get a little bit more information about what spirit wants you to know and about what energies may be coming up for you around this time. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle this deck here. I'm using the Cat Tarot deck, which is a very, very cute deck, one of my favorites. I'm still in the process of building my tarot and oracle deck collection. So if you see me using the same decks many times, just know that it takes quite a bit of time to accumulate a big deck collection. But sometimes it's not always about having everything we want, because ultimately the messages will still come through for us if we are willing to receive them and willing to ask for that higher guidance, regardless of how many decks you have. You could only have one deck and still get those answers that you need. So sometimes it's best to not feel like we have to have all the answers. We have to have everything perfect from the very beginning and the start of things. So let's see here. I've got a card. We're going to get one more card here. So that message, what I was just saying, that might resonate with someone. Just knowing that if you're wanting to start a new hobby or a new path, you might even want to start your own tarot channel. But I think it's important to know that you don't have to have it perfectly from the start. You don't have to do everything perfectly from the start, and it's going to take time to accumulate the resources that you need, the equipment that you need, and to be forgiving and compassionate with yourself, because ultimately you are going to make the right choice moving forward, and you can trust yourself and you can count on yourself, and also learn to forgive yourself when things don't feel like they're going as well as they should, or if you're having a bad day and you don't feel like you're doing things as well as you could. Just know that you can count on yourself, and that it's a learning process, and you're still growing, you're still expanding, and that your own unique gifts, your own unique talents, they will have a place, and you will ultimately connect with the right souls and that the right community that will help uplift you and help you know yourself at a deeper level, and help you grow and give you that constructive feedback, and really help you help you feel that inner confidence so you can trust your decisions, you can trust your inner strength and that inner voice within you. But anyway, that might be an important message for someone. But let's go ahead and see what other energies we have here. Okay, this is very interesting. And I can hold these cards up too so you can see them a little bit better because they are very cute. So we have the Ace of Wands, the Ten of Cups, and the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so with this Ace of Wands, this really tells me that as you move forward and you connect with that greater sense of that higher sense of intuition and that sense of trust of yourself and of the universe, and you let spirit guide you moving forward, making this maybe making this difficult decision. This ultimately tells me that you know that you can trust yourself and you ultimately will make the right decision. And this may be a very powerful breakthrough for you. This may be a very important opportunity to really take back the power and the inner authority of your own life. And this may be a good opportunity to really to start something new, to have that fresh start and that beautiful new beginning, that breakthrough of inspiration and passion. Maybe this could indicate that you're making a decision to walk away from something or to start something. Maybe you've been held back by some kind of anxiety paralysis, and you're afraid to really take that next leap of faith and to follow that passion and to be bold and to be courageous. But this is really just telling me that you have everything it takes, and ultimately you are going to succeed in manifesting those dreams. And you really truly can trust that intuition. You can trust your higher self. You can trust spirit, the universe. It's all there to support you and to guide you. And ultimately, this life is really a very powerful, beautiful opportunity for us to create these new beginnings and to really follow our passions and to let our inspiration and our inner creativity guide us. This is really all about, this is really what the Ace of Wands is all about, is trusting that calling and to really allow yourself to shine brightly and to really illuminate the path forward by following that inner guiding voice and just trusting yourself and knowing that you have what it takes to do this. And I see this beautiful, colorful imagery here too within both of these cards. And so I'm just seeing this beautiful, colorful, vibrant energy here. And this really tells me that you really are a special and unique soul, that you have so many beautiful creative gifts to offer this world. And I think that maybe you're holding yourself back and second guessing yourself out of fear of being seen, out of fear of maybe people not liking your message or not liking the way that you go about things. But I think if you allow yourself to stand proudly in your power and in your unique light, then ultimately this is going to help you create this beautiful new beginning for yourself, to follow those passions and to know that you are going to make the right decision about how to move forward. And I think this, by following this passion and by allowing yourself to be creatively driven and to really maybe take a chance with whatever this may be, that this is ultimately leading you to this Ten of Cups energy, which is all about having that happiness, having that fulfillment. And maybe this is having a very happy family life, buying the house that you've always dreamed of, and just having that security and knowing that it hasn't always come easily, that you've had to maybe put in a lot of work for this, and that you've experienced a lot of difficulty and hardship in your life, and this really helps you appreciate that abundance and that success and that fulfillment at an even deeper level. But just knowing that you're in the process of creating this beautiful new life for yourself, and that you definitely deserve this, because maybe you've been in this state of this uncertainty and that lack of trust in yourself for so long, that by following this new breakthrough, by taking this chance and allowing yourself to work towards your passions, and to be brave, to be bold, and to really have that courage to step outside your comfort zone, this is ultimately going to lead you to that beautiful, radiant fulfillment that you've always dreamed of. And I see this card is very often symbolized of having a happy family, with having a happy home, just having that success and that fulfillment within your emotional life. I see this as being just very happy and extremely, extremely grateful for what the universe has blessed you with. I see so many beautiful blessings coming into your life. We also have the Knight of Pentacles here, which tells me that this is going to be a very gradual process to get to this point. And as you step into your power, and as you learn to cultivate that greater level of self-confidence, I think this is also going to be very important that you don't necessarily rush things, that you don't give up when things don't go well one day, or if you find yourself struggling to push forward. Just knowing that sometimes you might not necessarily always have that same energy and that same passion every day. I mean, the passion's still there, but it's going to take time to kind of nurture that, and to let it grow slowly but surely, to allow things to grow from a solid foundation, and knowing that it's just going to take that persistence and that slow and steady, grounded approach in order to cultivate and nourish this life that you want for yourself. But to remain inspired, and to remain motivated, and to remain passionate about this dream that you are cultivating. Moving forward with confidence and clarity, as you really envision this life that you want. And like I said, just having that patience and that persistence to put in the work every day, and to also remember that it doesn't have to be perfect. And as long as you're showing up consistently and you're doing your best, then at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. And you will make that progress that will ultimately lead you to that place that you are wanting to go, and how you are wanting to feel on a day-to-day basis. And that spirit is ultimately going to bless you with this beautiful life, because I think you've really worked hard for it, and you may have spent a lot of time in a place where you've fallen victim to a lot of self-doubt, and have been kind of paralyzed with that anxiety about how to proceed and how to move forward. But I see that you're really headed in a beautiful new direction. And as long as you uphold that confidence, that self-respect, and you follow that dream and that passion, and allow that vision to guide you, that you're ultimately going to be extremely fulfilled emotionally, and in the way of material resources and abundance as well. And by slowly chipping away at that dream and that goal day by day, step by step, just watering those seeds and returning to your garden to feed the soil, and to really just give it that loving, nourishing energy, that ultimately things are definitely going to work out for you in the best possible way. So I'm going to go ahead and pull some Moonology cards here as well. So Spirit, what does group number 2 need to know about this upcoming new moon in Aquarius? I'm going to go ahead and get a card here. So we have the first quarter moon in Scorpio. Release your blocks. So this is very interesting. So the first quarter moons they're a time when we planted our intentions and we've set them out into the universe, and these energies are beginning to build in momentum. They're beginning to gradually come to light and come into illumination as the energy grows and develops. It's really building a lot of strength, and this is a time for us to really realign to that dream, that vision that we are wanting to cultivate, and to keep watering those seeds and to keep showing up, to not give up hope, and to really keep pushing forward and having faith that things are coming into illumination, coming into light. And the sign of Scorpio is all about diving into the hidden depths and exploring the emotional undercurrents of our psyche and of our hidden energies that we might not necessarily want to look at or want to accept. Facing our hidden inner darkness and allowing ourselves to ultimately transmute that energy, and allowing ourselves to reemerge and to rise like a phoenix from the ashes after we've faced that inner darkness and after we've done that shadow work. You may possibly have astrological placements in the sign of Scorpio, so that might also be something to consider as well. And this card asks us to release your blocks. So I think what this really tells me, I kind of see this as connecting to that Two of Swords energy, but releasing those blocks, as in maybe releasing that block within your intuition, within your sense of self-trust, and that sense of faith that things ultimately are going to work out for the best and that you are headed in the right direction. Just releasing that decision paralysis, and also not second guessing yourself when you move forward with that empowered decision that you've made. Allowing yourself to follow that passion and to really believe in yourself, but release whatever is holding you back, whatever is keeping you feeling stuck and imprisoned and leaving you feeling drained or depleted. Allowing yourself to really come into this full, vibrant energy, and having that hope and having that faith that things are really heading in a beautiful new direction for you. And when you put in the work, when you put in the work every day and take those practical, grounded steps in order to manifest your desired reality, then that's really going to help you push past that inner resistance and whatever inaccurate stories you may be telling yourself about what you do or don't deserve, and about whatever you think that you might not be capable of. This is that inner knowing that you do have what it takes, and that by showing up and by doing your best, that it's going to help you push through those internal barriers and ultimately realign you with that higher state of being and that inner knowing that you deserve to be happy, and you deserve to be successful, and that you deserve to have that fulfillment. So I'm going to go ahead and draw another oracle card from our next deck here, which is called Woodland Wardens. And I really love this new deck. My mom actually got it for me recently, but I think it's absolutely beautiful, and the illustrations are just gorgeous. So I'm going to go ahead and get a card here from this deck. So what does Spirit want Group 2 to know about the upcoming new moon in Aquarius? So we have 2 cards that want to come out here. So let's see what we have. So we have the Otter and Cattail, Peace, and then we have the Ram and Dahlia, Determination. Very interesting. So for this deck, since I am still it is a new deck, and I'm still getting I'm still learning about all of the energies here. I'm going to go ahead and read the description of these from the book, and then I'll talk about it a little bit more as well. Okay, so we have peace. The otter guides us. Otter glides through water with grace and fluidity, a beautiful sight to behold. The otter's playful swim brings calm and joy to those who witness it. The cattail is a symbol of peace and prosperity. It can be used for a variety of domestic purposes, from basket weaving to embedding to home insulation. It is also a nourishing food. You are entering a time of peace and tranquility. Enjoy it, allowing yourself to relax fully. And then there are a few questions that this book asks as well. Do I allow myself to enjoy peace when it finds me? Am I struggling needlessly against a strong current? So I think these are some very important things to consider as well. But I just wanted to say that you may find that the animal of the otter and the cattail plant have some kind of spiritual significance for you. They might be, the otter may be like a spirit animal for you, and you might find yourself just being very energetically drawn towards this animal and plant in some kind of way. So that might be something to consider, as well with the ram and the dahlia also. And I'm kind of I'll go ahead and just kind of explain what I think this card really means within this reading. And I think this is just allowing yourself to have that peace, that tranquility, to not let yourself be consumed by self-doubt or overthinking about feeling like you're going to make the wrong decision. But by making a decision, that you're ultimately allowing yourself to move passionately and with drive and with a visionary spirit into the life that you want to cultivate and manifest, and knowing that you do deserve that peace and that happiness and that emotional energetic fulfillment. So just having that peace and that tranquility, and not allowing yourself to fall into the trap of overthinking, but just keep chipping away, and to just keep remaining dedicated and persistent in whatever it is that you're wanting to cultivate and manifest. And the next card that we have here is the ram and the dahlia. Okay, we have the ram and the dahlia. Determination. The ram and dahlia is a card of action. The ram charges up the mountain with steady determination, removing any obstacles with its strong horns. The dahlia is known for its persistence. It produces flowers in the summer and well into the fall, outlasting most other blooms. You have the power to accomplish your wildest dreams. While others may tire or lose interest, you are persistent and will see your ambitions through. The questions that this book asks us are: what am I most determined to accomplish? When have I worked best alone? And when have I benefited from another's help? So this is something also very interesting to consider as well. And I think this is really asking you to remain persistent, to remain dedicated, to take those, to take follow that step-by-step plan in order to create that vision for yourself, and to follow through with what you are trying to create and cultivate, but also not being afraid to ask for help, and not necessarily not feeling like you have to carry all the weight all on your own, but reaching out for help if you need it, and just remaining confident in your own sense of inner strength and fortitude, and just remaining confident in knowing that you will accomplish these dreams that you have, to remain passionate and dedicated. And ultimately, I believe that things are going to work out for you in the best possible way. So I'm going to finish this reading by getting getting a card or a few cards from our Work Your Light Oracle deck here. So we'll go ahead and see what Spirit wants you to know about this upcoming new moon in Aquarius. So the card that we have here is Anna, the grandmother of Jesus, laying the light, laying foundations, divine plan. So this is very interesting. Let me go ahead and see if I can make some room here for this card. Okay, so I hope you can see all these cards. I'll go ahead and read this description as well from the book to get a little bit more insight and a little more depth as to the overall meaning. Okay, Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. Anna, grandmother of Jesus, was an ancient mystic who dedicated her life to laying foundations for Christ consciousness to be woven through all of life. She is not widely known, but without her, Christ consciousness would not be rising as it is today. Anna represents the quiet dedication that is sometimes required to live a life of service. She represents the generations that came before that devoted their lives to dreaming a new world into being, while knowing that they would not see the glorious end result. She represents the dutiful soldier, the unconditional mother, and the mystic who can see the thread that is woven through all of life. Anna teaches us that we all have a part to play in the divine plan. It doesn't have to be on the world stage to be significant. One person's part is not worthier than another. One person's part may be to mother their children, another's may be to gather women in circle each month. No part is better or worse, more important or less significant. We each have within us a seed of light that we incarnated to share. Anna is gathering us all to remember and surrender to our part of the plan. So I think this is very interesting, and whether or not you really resonate with that idea of the Christ consciousness, I think regardless of your religious or spiritual path, I think that seeing this as an energetic archetype of the inner light within all of us, and seeing this as allowing that light, that love, and that unity to really to really vibrate through the core of existence and the core of eternal life. That is something that is ultimately it's something that is interwoven between our connections with others, within coming together with unity and with respect and compassion, and knowing that we do each have our own part to play in the divine plan, and knowing that we are all valuable. We all have our own unique spark, our own unique light to shine, and how that is ultimately building something even bigger than ourselves and connecting us with others who hold that same frequency, who, like it was saying about seeing the thread that is woven through all of life. It really is having that inner knowing, having access to that divine unity, knowing that we ultimately really are one, that we are all connected, and we each have our own part to play within all of this. And it's really difficult to articulate these themes sometimes, but this is really telling me that I'm really seeing this as this divine feminine energy, and doing something to play your part within all of this. And that doesn't necessarily mean doing it perfectly, but doing it in the best possible way that you can, and knowing that you're in the process of learning and growing. And even by just trying, that's better than doing nothing. And by having that inner sense of confidence and that faith within yourself, and that trust within spirit as well, within that if you want to call it the Christ consciousness or the light consciousness, letting that guide you and letting that connect you with others who share that vision, who share that dream of coming together, of creating something beautiful in this world, and not comparing and not seeing others as competition who are on a similar path to you, to know that there's room in this world for everyone to shine brightly, that we all have our own unique message to share, and that you have a very special place within this life and a very beautiful gift. And you are so valuable and so important. And I think that by sharing your message, by sharing your light, and pushing through those boundaries that you have, pushing through that sense of self-doubt, and remaining at peace within yourself and determined to continue pushing through, to take those grounded practical steps every day to follow that passion and to create the life that you want, that ultimately that is going to lead you to the greatest emotional fulfillment and happiness that you can ever imagine. So thank you so much for being here, group 2. I'm going to end your reading here, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for being here. It's been an absolute privilege to bring you this reading, and if you resonated with this reading, please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel. And if this reading brought you some insight or touched you in any way, please also consider leaving a tip, and I'll leave the information of how to do that within the description. But I also just wanted to say that it's something that's absolutely never expected, but it is very much appreciated. And I'm sending you so much light, so much love, and so many blessings upon your journey. Thank you so much. Hello, Group 3, and welcome to your reading about what Spirit wants you to know about this upcoming new moon in Aquarius. So I'm going to go ahead and reveal the card that you picked here. This card is going to represent the overall energetic theme of the reading. And this also may be something important to take into consideration when setting your new intentions for this new moon. This might be something to really focus on and to really consider as you cultivate this new vision for your life. So let's see what we have here. Okay, so we have the Three of Pentacles. So what this card really tells me is that this may be an opportunity for you to really collaborate and to connect with others that may have a similar vision to you. And this tells me that this could involve some kind of group project or some kind of community focus that you are working on with other people who are perhaps like-minded and share that similar collective vision for you. And this card is very much Aquarius to connecting with the collective and with the larger community, and doing what you can to share your own message and to shine your own light within this group dynamic. But I really see this as collaborating on a project together. This could even be on a small scale also, like some kind of group project at work or at school, but doing something, working with others and sharing different ideas and perspectives about whatever this may be. But I see this as really coming together with a greater level of community and learning to listen to new ideas, and also working on expressing yourself and your own ideas as well. Really seeing the part that you have to play in a larger structure and a larger community, but playing your part within this larger group dynamic, and not being afraid to express yourself, but also not being afraid to listen to another point of view and another perspective and a way of doing things also. Because I think sometimes when we collaborate, when we allow ourselves to work as a team and to allow other people to shine and to allow different viewpoints and ideas to inspire us and to help to help shape us and shift our ways of thinking, this ultimately helps us grow and expand and see things from a whole new level. So this is maybe something to consider during this Aquarius new moon, as far as maybe setting an intention to expand your group circle, to maybe collaborate and to work with others in a constructive way, to maybe work on listening or taking constructive criticism. This will ultimately help you grow as an individual and grow as a soul. And this could also be that this may help you inspire others as well. Ultimately it's a win-win situation for everyone, I'm seeing. So I think this may be asking you to maybe take a step outside of your comfort zone if you're usually more of an introverted person who likes to work alone on most projects. Maybe this is a good opportunity to really push past that comfort zone, to maybe meet some new people, to work on something that you're both interested in and passionate about, and to really get curious and to be open and interested in a new perspective and what another person may have to bring to the table. So I think that might be something worth considering as you set these new intentions for the new moon in Aquarius. So I'm going to go ahead and get a few more tarot cards here. I'm using the Cat Tarot today. It's a very, very cute deck, one of my favorites. So we'll go ahead and see what else Spirit wants you to know about this upcoming new moon in Aquarius. Okay, let's see what we have here. Okay. Okay, this is very interesting. So the first card that we have is the Five of Cups. We also have the Six of Wands, and we have the Nine of Pentacles. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about these cards as well, how they relate to this overall energetic theme of the reading. Okay, so with the Five of Cups, this tells me that you may currently be in the process of moving through a period of sadness in your life, maybe feeling like maybe feeling very depressed or grieving something. Maybe this could be the loss of a loved one, the loss of a pet, or something that really meant a lot to you. And I just wanted to say that my heart is going out to you, and I'm really sending you so much loving energy. And I know that really difficult, challenging things happen in this life sometimes, and I really don't want to invalidate that or minimize that in any way. But I'm really seeing that maybe by focusing on collaborating and by maybe connecting with other people, maybe that could possibly help give you some ideas about how to move forward and to move through this sadness. And I'm not saying that this is going to happen overnight, but I see this as maybe connecting with people who maybe this is like some kind of um, like some kind of grief support group or something. Maybe meeting some new people and connecting with people that are going through something similar to help you really fortify that strong support system, and to really help you find a greater sense of trust and of strength, knowing that things are going to get better, that this isn't going to last forever, but allowing others to hold space for you while holding space for others who may be experiencing quite a bit of sadness and despair and going through a period of depression. Knowing that things aren't always easy, and sometimes we really have to navigate these challenging experiences in order to really to learn what this what this is really trying to teach us in the end, and knowing that all of our suffering in this life, that none of it's happening for no reason, basically. And I'm not trying to make that sound like that it's happening to you because you deserve it. I'm trying to say that it's ultimately the suffering and the sadness that we have within this lifetime. It's really all part of the human experience, and regardless of who you are, of what your status is, um, of what your life is like. Ultimately, we all are going to experience these periods of sadness and depression and of loss and grief. That it's impossible to live a human experience without feelings of grief and despair. But ultimately, it's learning that we can take something from it and that we can grow from it, and it may also help us connect with others and to build that strong support system for each other, to hold space, to uplift each other, and to know that we're not alone. To know that we're not alone within these feelings of depression or despair, and also remembering that the sun will always rise again. And even if even if it feels like things are never going to get better, I want you to trust me when I say that they will get better. And even if it doesn't feel like it right now, I think that it's extremely important to keep holding on, to keep that sense of hope alive within yourself, because you're going to be so grateful one day in the future that you held on, that you continue to keep dreaming of a happier future, of a happier time, because everything ebbs and flows in this life, and nothing is permanent. That means the good or the bad. But I think this is really this is really important that you take the time to allow yourself to be supported by others, because you don't have to do this all alone. And I feel that this is probably an extremely challenging and difficult thing to overcome for a lot of you. This also could have something to do with the month of May. Maybe this is an anniversary of a traumatic or a painful event that caused this grief within your life, that caused these feelings of despair. So maybe the month of May is a sensitive time for you. Maybe that's something to maybe consider moving forward. And also we're still in January right now, so you have several months to prepare for this period of time that's coming up. Maybe it's something that's on the back of your mind, but preparing yourself when these sensitive times of the year occur for you, allowing yourself to be supported, to feel loved and held and protected in a greater sense of love and security, and knowing this is all part of the journey, and that you ultimately are going to feel better eventually. But right now, I think it's time just to, whenever these emotions become too overwhelming, or you feel like you can't handle what's coming at you, I think this is a very important time to really just take a very grounded and deep breath, and remember that you have the power and the strength to overcome this. But you don't have to pretend like it's easy. You don't have to slap a fake smile on every day, but just know that you can reach out for support and connect with others who want to help support you and help you make it through this difficult time. Or this could be just maybe like feelings of seasonal depression, or something that you know is going to be temporary, but it may just be a very difficult temporary chapter that you're experiencing right now. But just to keep that hope alive, to keep that faith, and to know that you are going to get through this, and you're going to be so much stronger for it, and that you are very brave, and you are very loved, and to really reach out for that help when you need it. I definitely don't want to I definitely want to make that very clear, because that's the overall energy of the reading here, is collaborating and communicating with others to work as a team. And I think this might really mean that it's important to find that strong support system, to find that team who can help you help you move through this. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and move on here. We have the Six of Wands, which really tells me that you are going to be moving into this time of receiving recognition and probably a lot of praise for whatever you're working towards, and by really showing up and doing what you've been doing in a lot of ways, and by overcoming these challenges and moving through this sadness, through this hardship. This is telling me that it's ultimately probably going to inspire others as well, that others are going to see your strength and your perseverance as you've held out, as you've held on, and you kept that faith alive. You didn't give up. And even though it wasn't easy, I think others are really going to see this as something very inspirational and powerful. It's something that others are probably going to want to learn from you as well. But I think this is really showing up, and others are going to be celebrating your accomplishments and how far you've come, and really acknowledging that you are a beautiful and radiant being, and that you have so much to give and so much to teach others, just by being you and just by sharing your presence in your own unique light, standing in your power and standing in your confidence, and really just knowing that you've showed so much strength, and that spirit, that the universe are really just wanting to help you and help you see that worth, and to let others see it as well, shining your own unique light, and also working with others to strengthen the foundation, and to strengthen the energies of the collective as well, by working together as unique individuals with a similar mission, if that makes any sense. But I think this is going to be a beautiful opportunity for you to really shine brightly, and to really be recognized and celebrated for your hard work, and whatever you've been cultivating, whatever you've been moving through. I think this is really going to be a moment of great reward for you in a lot of ways, and standing on the stage front and center, and just being acknowledged for what you've been doing. So this final tarot card that we have here is the Nine of Pentacles, and this tells me that also this is, whatever this energy that you're moving through is, that this is ultimately going to lead you to this destination of happiness, of abundance, of fulfillment, and really feeling like you have that strong and stable foundation, that you have more than enough that you need. And maybe in the past, I kind of feel like I kind of see this as like, I don't know, like a little homeless cat living in a cardboard box, and maybe by connecting to that community, that help that you may have needed, that this is ultimately helping you grow and strengthen to move past these feelings of sadness or unworthiness, and really moving into the main character energy of your life, being recognized and celebrated by doing this hard work, by doing the shadow work, and coming into this place where you're ultimately feeling successful, abundant, and really joyful, and having all of your needs met and more. Really just enjoying the light, the beauty, and just knowing that you have what you need, and that you are worthy of beautiful abundance, and having the best that life has to offer. So I think this is extremely beautiful energy, and I want you to know that the universe knows that you deserve this, and this hasn't been an easy journey, but I think that by connecting with others and communicating and collaborating, this is ultimately going to lead to a successful outcome for everyone, and that it doesn't necessarily have to be seen as a competition, but there's going to be room for everyone to shine brightly in their own unique way, and to also be rewarded greatly, and to have that abundance, to have that knowing that your needs are met and that you're taken care of, and that you can really relax a little bit more, and to treat yourself to some greater luxuries in life. So I'll go ahead and move on to our Moonology Oracle deck. I'm going to go ahead and get some cards here, see what else Spirit wants you to know about this upcoming new moon in Aquarius. So let's see what we have here. So we have this card here. It is the last quarter moon in Taurus. Be proud of yourself. So this is very beautiful. And I also wanted to say that it may be possible that you have astrological placements in the sign of Taurus. That might be something to take into consideration. But if you don't, then it's all good. It's just something to maybe take into consideration. But always take this reading as it resonates with you and ignore what doesn't. But the last quarter moons are they're a time of letting go and releasing, of really having that time of integration, of having gratitude for what we have manifested and accumulated during the previous part of the lunar cycle, of really releasing and creating that void space and that emptiness for a new beginning and for a new chapter to begin. And the sign of Taurus is it's really all about connecting to that sense of abundance, of feeling like we do deserve the best in life, and putting in that hard work and that dedication in order to manifest those dreams and to create that vision for ourselves, and to really ground it in and make it into a reality. Really connecting with that sense of self-worth and mothering ourselves and treating ourselves with kindness and respect also. But this card asks us to be proud of yourself. And I really see this as you've really come such a long way. I think that you're really coming full circle. And I think you're at the end of this cycle that has maybe really challenged you a lot, has really tested you a lot, and caused you to maybe question your sense of self-worth, and to maybe really doubt yourself in a lot of ways. And maybe as you've moved through this period of grief or hardship, of not knowing where life is going to lead you, and maybe feeling a lot of uncertainty about that. I think that as you've moved through this challenging period, and you've connected with a stronger sense of community, with a stronger support system, and you've allowed yourself to connect with others and share new ideas, and really be a solid and strong foundation for each other. I think that this is ultimately leading you to really have that sense of gratitude and appreciation for overcoming those challenging things. And maybe you're even still moving through them. Maybe for a lot of you, that healing is still a continuous process, and it's not something that's going to be easy or happen overnight. But I think you're really moving into this new place where you are becoming this new main character of your life, and you really are taking the center stage, and others are beginning to notice and to really celebrate you and acknowledge you for the work that you've done and how far that you've come, and really allowing your creative gifts and your beautiful potential to really shine through, and showing others that this can be done, and that we can heal, that we can overcome adversity and obstacles in our lifetimes, and that it's something to really be proud of yourself about. It's something to really celebrate yourself for, not only to let others celebrate you, but to celebrate yourself, to be proud of yourself, and to know that this journey has not been easy, and ultimately that as you come into this new period of abundance and success, I think that it's really important to have that deep gratitude for that, in that it's taken quite a lot of work and quite a lot of faith as well to continue pushing forward and not giving up, even when even when you feel like you're not doing as good of a job as you could, or like things, like you always wanted things to be perfect, but knowing that they never will be, and just when you feel those feelings of self-doubt or uncertainty, just remembering that you've come such a long way, and that this is still only the beginning, that there's that you can that you're in the process of still growing, of still learning and still healing, that, like I said, that this isn't going to happen overnight, but you should be proud of yourself for how far you've come, and for beginning to create this life that you want, and recognizing that you have what it takes, and that the universe knows that you probably have experienced quite a bit of pain and quite a bit of despair and grief, and knowing that you are so held and so loved, and that you're also going to be greatly and deeply rewarded for doing this hard work, and keeping that faith and keeping that strength, and to know that you are always connected to that higher dimension of love and unity, and that you can always tap into that whenever you want to, whenever you need to, and that it is always infinitely available for you, and that these miracles in your life can really happen if you allow yourself to believe, and when you allow yourself to trust that yes, it can happen for you, even when things feel like they're never going to work out, and or like you're never going to be happy again, or if you feel like you'll never be good enough, just know that you've always been good enough, and that you should be so proud of yourself, and that spirit is so grateful that you exist, and so grateful that you're here doing this powerful work, and shining your light, and helping others, and also allowing yourself to be helped by others as well. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get another card here. This is our Woodland Wardens deck. It's actually a new deck that my mom got for me recently. So I'm going to go ahead and get a card from this deck. Okay. So we have the duck and chrysanthemum luck. So this is very interesting here. I'll go ahead and read the description from the book. I think that really helps explain this energy a little bit better. But let's just see what the book has to say. Okay. The phrase lucky duck isn't just a lighthearted rhyme. Ducks can be symbols of good fortune. In ancient Egypt, ducks were associated with riches, especially gold, and frequently given as offerings to the gods. Likewise, chrysanthemums, bursting forth with long and elegant petals, signify abundance. Luck can be a fickle and mysterious force, but it is also what happens when preparation meets opportunity. You are on the brink of good fortune. Be open to situations that may bring about positive transformation. And then the questions that this asks us are, how can I prepare for the future? Is destiny mutable or set in stone? So this is very interesting, and I think this is really just I think well, first of all, I just wanted to say that the symbol of the duck or the chrysanthemum flower, these might be very special spiritual symbols for you. The duck could be your spirit animal, and the chrysanthemum could be your spirit flower or plant. So maybe something important to take into consideration, but just take this as it resonates. So this whole idea is about luck and abundance, and I think this is really saying that maybe after a period of difficulty and despair, of great misfortune, that things are beginning to take a turn, and things are beginning to improve for you. You're beginning to step into that, like I was saying, that main character energy of your life, and allowing yourself to be celebrated, and to really take that step into the spotlight, and to maybe allow yourself to take things on a more public stage, and really showing yourself and revealing yourself to the world in a lot of ways. But knowing that whatever you choose to do, that luck is definitely, it's literally in the cards for you, and that whatever you're doing is ultimately going to result in abundance and prosperity and of good fortune and good luck for you. That this is ultimately leading to that happiness and that fulfillment and that feeling of grounded security and that solid foundation in your life. I think that this is ultimately going to result in a great level of material abundance and wealth for you in the long run. So I think this is really saying that that this is something to really be grateful for and to really continue working towards. Also, if you haven't really reached that point just yet, but knowing that this is something to continue pushing forward with, and to know that this is ultimately going to work out in the best possible way for you, and to have that faith and to know that your luck is about to take a turn for the better. So I'm going to finish this reading now by getting a card or two from the Work Your Light Oracle deck. So I'm going to just see what else Spirit wants you to know about this new moon in Aquarius. So we have two cards here wanted to come out. Hang on. Okay. So we have replenishment and transformation. We have deep replenishment, retreat, rest, be held, and transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. So I'm just going to adjust these a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and talk about this first card, deep replenishment. So give me just 1 second. One second. Okay. Deep replenishment. Retreat, rest, be held. The most selfless thing you can do is to fill up your own inner well. When we are running around half filled, we subconsciously look to things and people around us to give us the nourishment and nurturing that we so deeply crave. Nothing can grow in barren lands. You are no good to anyone if you're running on empty. The feminine is bountiful, fertile, and rich. Tend to your own well and watch as the amount you have to give multiplies. If your inner well isn't full, you will find yourself craving things from the outside world to fill it. This is your body's instinctive way of reaching for the grounding and nurturing that we are not allowing ourselves. What nourishes you? What refuels your body? What is nectar for your soul? What brings you back to life? What is your secret medicine? What makes you feel abundant and fertile? Overspilling with life. It may be gardening, arranging flowers, getting a massage, using luxurious essential oils, snuggling on the couch, hiking, sipping a good coffee at your favorite cafe, attending a women's circle, reading about sacred sites, spontaneous bike rides, walking along the beach, or yin yoga. What nourishes you is your medicine. When you give yourself the medicine that you need to be nourished, you nourish all those around you, for there is more than enough to go around. Do something that deeply replenishes you today. So I think this is really connected to that idea of that abundance, that luxury of really allowing yourself to take that time and to really have that appreciation for the rewards that you're cultivating in this life, and to also know that this is always going to be a continuous journey, and that it's okay to take a break from every now and then, and to allow yourself to not to necessarily look for something outside of you. But I mean, I think it's important to connect to that greater sense of community and to be able to work and communicate with others effectively. But I think this is also saying that you kind of need to have that balance of work and play and of, I guess, working with others and also working deeply and internally, also kind of like that hermit energy sort of, but going within and allowing yourself to be held and to take that moment of relaxation and to really allow yourself to recharge and re-strengthen and refortify that foundation, and allowing yourself to follow your intuition and that inner mystery that helps you move forward in the world from an empowered place, moving, maybe allowing yourself to maybe retreat a little while to work through those feelings of grief or feelings of uncertainty, but knowing and trusting that spirit is ultimately helping you overcome this in the best possible way, and that things are just going to take time, and that you are headed in the right direction and you are being greatly rewarded for it, and you should really be proud of yourself for doing that deep healing work and allowing yourself to go through that transformation. And this final card that we have here is transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. So I'm going to go ahead and read this description as well. Okay. Transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. Things are changing at a cellular level. You are not who you were a year ago or who you will soon be. You are in between, emerging, half risen, half falling. Keep doing the work. You are transforming. You will look back at this time with awe. So much is happening in your inner world and within your cells. It's time to release old ways of being that have kept you in fight, flight, freeze mode. To choose a new way of being where trauma is not the driving force. Old childhood patterns are rising up to be healed. As you allow yourself to observe them and feel them without attachment, they loosen their grip and fall away. You're being called to find new ways to self-soothe. Saturn in the Black Madonna and the African goddess Oshun influence this card. Saturn represents destruction and transformation. The Black Madonna represents the underground and all that has been cast aside. And Oshun represents the tender love of the original mother. A rethreading is happening, healing at the deepest of levels. While you are in this phase, don't put yourself under pressure to perform. You may need to review your relationship with your body, perhaps even shifting your self-care routine or getting energetic healing support. You may also need to consider some kind of emotional support, as issues from your childhood may come up to be healed. You are deeply loved. I allow myself to receive the deepest healing and transformation for change to happen at a cellular level. So I think this is a beautiful card, and yeah, I think this really just confirms that during this time, it probably is going to be something to consider. Maybe finding that balance between turning inward to take that time to really rest, to recharge, to focus on that deep inner work, but also to connect with others, to maybe consider a different point of view and a new perspective about maybe how to navigate this healing journey, working from the inside, and also working from the inside out, but also allowing things to happen from the outside in a healthy way with solid boundaries as well, if that makes any sense. But doing the inner work and also allowing yourself to be supported by a loving community who wants to help uplift you and help you navigate through this time, and to be proud of yourself, and to really know that things are changing for the better for you, and that you are protected and you are held, and that your luck is ultimately taking a turn for the better as well, as you overcome these feelings of pain, of depression, of feeling depleted or drained by life in some way. You're you're really taking a turn for the better, and learning how to have that self-confidence, and really showing up, and embodying that energy of taking control of your life again, and standing in your power, and letting yourself be acknowledged and celebrated for that, and coming into that greater place of abundance, of success, of happiness, and really nurturing yourself, nourishing yourself, and just taking care of yourself in all ways, doing that deep healing work, and having the patience. I think that's very important as well, having that patience and that persistence to keep going, and to not lose faith, to not lose hope. And remember that you're part of this great journey and this great mystery that is this life. And at the end of the day, that there's something very special that you have to offer this world, very unique and very beautiful gift. And I think that others are beginning to see that, and that you're going to be so celebrated and so appreciated for these insights and these blessings that you have to share with the world. And I think you're also coming into a greater place of appreciation for others' gifts, and new new divine guidance that is flowing into you, and these other people that you're meeting, this larger support system is ultimately going to be a very nourishing container for you to grow and to heal, and to reconnect with that greater sense of self-worth and self-confidence, to share your light and to share your gifts with the world as you go through this healing journey. So I hope this, I really hope that this reading resonated with you, and um, thank you so much for being here. It's been an absolute privilege to bring you this reading, and if this reading resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel. And if this reading touched you or brought you some new insight, please consider leaving a tip if you'd like to. I will definitely leave the information of how to do that in the description. But I just wanted you to also know that it's something that's never expected, but it's always very much appreciated. And I'm sending you so much light, so much love, and so many blessings upon your journey. Thank you so much.